What up? What's good, people? What is up? What is they went from the fourth level of hell and sent us down to the seventh level of hell. Why? Because then you got Kwanzaa pulling out her titties. The whore pulled out her titties. And these whore bags over here started feeling and fondling on her tits. Mike.
I don't have it to do with you. Girl, you can go over there, rant and rave. Girl, you can shake all your rainbow bright hair all you want, dear one. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I don't have nothing to do with you, and I'm done. Baby, you can scream my name from the rooftops from now till Jesus come back. I'm done after this.
Introduced to Tick's meat. Do you see what I see? Did y'all really hello, casting wardrobe? Y'all let him roll up out of wardrobe with these fans on, giving us all of this, thinking we were not going to see it? We have been waiting with bated breath and anticipating all season long for the slightest glimpse, and y'all just put it out there this episode in all of its magnificent glory.
Listen, that young man said, baby, you ate on this first date, you giving up the cooch on the first date, okay? Well, you gonna run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's our new theme song. That is the new song. Listen, somebody need to put a beat to that. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. That's what y'all got going on.
Called out Sandcastle. Sand, bitch. Ow. Oh my God, it was so funny, girl. Woo, baby, listen, let me tell you something. This shit started to turn into the precursor for some gay porn. That's what I thought it was. Because Big T is getting all, the voice starting to go deeper and get a little more wet and moist and sentimental and all this shit. And it was real gay at this point. Like, I thought the bitches was going to start. I thought Lil Murder was going to turn Big T around and do him like he did Uncle Cliff and do the grease it up with City Lou and ran right in there. It's not a coincidence that Big T started off the conversation by trying to find out if Lil Murder was fucking Mercedes, which he found out he's not. It's also not a coincidence that he would start talking about prison. Why? Because the bitches was probably fucking in prison. Uncle Cliff, you better go get your man. Big T got plans for that. What he had on looked like something Big Bird vomited up or something like that. Like, I did not like it. That Big Bird couture he was going for, it did not work. Like the pastor of a gay mega church on Easter Sunday. Okay, it was way too much sequins. He had on way too much makeup. Baby, his face looked like Yana Van Zap's neckline. Okay, just way too much makeup, clumped in everywhere on his face. Get it together, sweetheart. And you're a big girl, so that gives you a whole lot of canvas. So that was a whole lot of makeup, honey. Yeah. Rico looked like he was auditioning to be one of the three kings, or he was auditioning to be the main character on Jesus Christ Superstar. Girl, Wayne, did you have on a blue thong or a blue G-string or something? If you did, I want to see. Can I see? Give me up in my DMs. I do want to see if you have a blue thong or a blue jock strap or something like that. I'd love to see it too. Anyway, but I liked it with the turtleneck. Now, Troy. Jesus Christ, Superstar. What's up, y'all? We are here. We are live. And we ready to get this party started. Listen, we ain't got to rush. Really B say she is not going live after me. So we got a little bit of time, y'all. We got... How y'all doing today? Y'all all right? I'm all right. I'm ready to get this party started. Let me just post this on the Bluesky. And once I post it to the Bluesky, we ready to get this party started. Go ahead and hit the like button if you have not already done so. Hit the like button if you have not already done so. Because YouTube ain't gonna do us no favors over here. They ain't doing us no favors at all. Ain't doing us not one favor. So yeah. Let's go ahead and hit the like button and share the video out. Give me just another few moments and we'll be ready to go as I am posting to the socials. All right, and I think we're ready. All right, that's it right there. Let's do it. Let's get this party started. What am I drinking today? I'm drinking on some Gatorade.
This is Lightning Blast. I actually like it. It's actually pretty good. Actually, pretty. Only good thing that came out of the University of Florida. Everything else that came out of the University of Florida is garbage. Garbage. Trash. The only good thing that came out of the University of Florida is Gatorade. Anyway, let me say hey to y'all before we get this party started. Let me put the banners and stuff up. Let me say hey to y'all. See who we got. See who's first. Universal Goddess is first. Hey, my love. Hey, boo. Candace F is in the building. Quake is here looking stunning. Tracy W is here. Y'all make sure y'all say hi to Tracy W. So she acknowledges that I said hi to her. Y'all say hi to her. Hey, Yana. I'm surprised you ain't going to pick up our nieces and nephews from practice or something. Lovely 31 Blueprint is here. Hey, boo. We have Brown Mama in the building. VA Virginia Sagittarius. I got some things to say about them Saggies. Them Sagittarius. My first was a Sagittarius. First dude, that is. Not my first ever, but my first dude was a Sag. And hey, Drinks with D. Child, I almost started cussing. Think about that young man. Child. Hey, Tanya. Thank you for the congratulations to Brown Mama. Hey, Jeannie. What's going on? China White is here. Ravine is here. Hey, Ravine. We got Tamara in the building. Samara has her face in the place. Brittany Janae is here and on time. Brittany Janae say you don't see her. She is here and on time. Hey, Tawana D. What's going on, my love? Hey, Janae. What's going on, boo? Hey, Catherine Powell. Cha. You know what? I forgot, Quake. And today I just picked up the regular original flavor of Dots. I just went to the Publix and picked up the original flavor. And I forgot. I'm gonna go back and get the cinnamon sugar. But I just bought a pack of the regular flavor. I love the regular flavor. Hey, Sharice, over there in Cali, our Cali girl. Angela, cutting up in cold ass Detroit. How cold is it up there, Angela? How cold is it? Because it's supposed to get down to the 30s again today. It's supposed to get down tonight to the 30s. I think we have a freeze order in place, a freeze warning in place. Child. Hey, Precious Jewel. Child. Hey, Miss Cookie. All right, y'all. We finna get this party started. Hey, crazy homebody girl. So let's get this party started. Y'all know how we start off. We start off with our Black History moment. And because it is March, that means it is Women's History Month. So we're going to do Black Women's History, okay? So it's 50. Wait a minute. Wait. How is it 50 in Detroit and 47 here in Georgia? How is Detroit, Michigan up there right underneath Canada, America's hat? How is it hotter in Detroit than it is in Georgia? Make that shit make sense. Hey, Demetria Boo. Wait a minute. I just want to make sure I saw that right. You said it's 50, and it's 47. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Not doing it. Some people preemptively sent me some cash apps. Let me I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. Oh, this is from yesterday. No, this is from today. Yes. Brown Mama sent me a cash app. Thank you, my love. And Tracy W sent me a cash app. Thank you as well. Child, I was doing the Lord's work last night. Tracy W. Thank y'all for y'all cash apps. We'll talk about it. You 3 hours north of Detroit? Oh, so you really up there in America's hat. Honey. Hey, Montrez, what's good, bruh? Y'all, let's get this party started. Let's do some learning. Let's and hopefully you learn some. It's your birthday. Wait. Stop the presses. It is our boy Montrez's birthday. Y'all put some birthday shout outs to Montrez. Unfortunately, he's a Pisces. You know what they say about them Pisces, child. They say them Pisces lick 'em and stick 'em. That's what they told me. Lick 'em and stick 'em. That's what they told me about Pisces. Anyway, Montrez, can you can put your cash app in the chat. Some people might want to bless you on today. So put your cash app in the chat so people could bless you and show you some birthday love. Hey TJ. What's going on, TJ? Y'all, it's our boy. Birthday. It is Montrez's birthday. He's one of our resident Gen Zers. And yeah. Look at Tawada. Talk about I'm a Pisces. You know they say them Pisces, they lick them and stick them. Lick them and stick them. Ciao. You see, I'm not gonna badmouth the Pisces, especially during y'all season. I don't have to badmouth y'all. Y'all do enough y'allself. Montrez, did you put your cash app in the chat, sir? We looking for your cash app. Oh, dog, Montrez. Now we got to take a shot. Hold on, let me get the shot glass. Lord, y'all go get y'all shot glasses. We got to take a shot for Montrez. Hold on, let me watch this out. All right, I had to wash this out. Because, you know, it was sitting up there on the cabinet. Montrez, did you put your cash app in the chat yet? Lord. Well, what is you waiting on? It is shot o'clock because it's Montrez's birthday. And that's our boy. That's our little nephew. He's our resident Gen Zer. Everybody in the chat, all 60 plus of y'all, get y'all shot glasses ready. We over here celebrating. Shout out to all the Pisces out there who likes to lick them and stick them. That's what they told me. You know, the thing about Pisces is my mama a Pisces. I dated a Pisces too. He was real tall and skinny, and so was his child. Let me shut up. Anyway, I'm using my Turks and Caicos shot glass that I bought when I went to Really B's birthday. Okay, so we're gonna do our Virgin Islands. We're gonna do the Virgin Islands gin that we just got when we was in the Virgin Islands. All right. You ran out of alcohol last night after the State of the Union. Girl, Jesus, that waste. Oh, dear God. Why are you wasting on me, Lord? God. Oh, make me look like almost like I peed on myself. God. Lord. I'm making a mess over here, y'all. A whole mess. Montrez, did you put your cash app in the chat yet? We over here trying to take shots and shit. Lord. We taking shots for Montrez because it's his birthday. He one of them Pisces that likes to lick them and stick them. Paul, go get your hey Harold. Hey. Well, who the hell is that on your avatar? Is that Kendrick Lamar? Hey, Paul, you don't have a Cash App? Oh, mm, mm. Do you have a PayPal, Venmo, Zelle? You don't have nothing? All right. Well, I tried, Montrez. We're going to take a quick shot for you, though. Love. After I done wasted some liquor trying to get this bottle open for you. And you ain't even got no Cash App. Ciao. Now, well, happy birthday to your oldest daughter. Now I'm side-eyeing my oldest daughter. Today is her birthday. I told her to bring her own glass when she visits, since they like to lick and stick. Child, you better, if she a Pisces, child, you better tell her bring her own glass. I told you, they like to lick them and stick them. Well, we gonna take a shot. This gonna be for your birthday. This for all the Pisces, all of y'all. This for all the Pisces. If happy belated birthday to Tarshell too. Y'all put a happy birthday for her too, because Tarshell say she not gonna be left out. Okay. So got my shot right here. Y'all put in the chat what y'all taking a shot of. What are you taking a shot of? Hey, Antonia, this for all the Pisces. If you're a Pisces, this your one birthday shot. Now, after today, we ain't doing no more shots for you Pisces. For you Pisces. Like I said, y'all like to lick them and stick them. Mm-hmm. Pisces got that good loving. You know, Pisces are freaks now. Don't get it twisted. The problem with Pisces is, and I know this, I told y'all my mama is a Pisces, and I dated a Pisces. The problem with Pisces is, save some liquor for next Thursday. Look at Tawana. She already put her order in. She said, save some for me for next Thursday. You know what? You know what? This is why we can't have nice things. This is exactly why we cannot have nice things. Anyway, you got some Applejack. Okay, crack, kill, Applejack. I still got I bought like 3 bottles of it, but I still got a little bit of the salted caramel Crown. This is the last bottle too. So the fact that I keep several liquor bottles here on my work station shelf thing. I mean, I got a liquor I bought over there in the Florida room too, but child. Anyway, we ready, y'all. Let's go ahead and take this shot. Jeez, let me get my Gatorade for after the shot. Child. Anyway, look at crazy homebody girl. Look at her. Everybody want me to save one for them. I'm going to need to talk to remember the liquor on March 20. Look at everybody putting their reservations in for their birthday. All you March babies. Child. How is that salt? Oh, it's real good. It's real good. Put some in your coffee, okay? Also, if you still got some eggnog left, Janae, it'll change your life. That salted caramel and some eggnog, it'll change your life. Hey, Savon, what's going on, boo? All right, up to it, down to it, whatever they say, we gonna do it. Yeah, take a shot. Here we go. Happy birthday. Oh, oh, oh. Hold on. Oh, I felt that the whole way down. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, child. Hey, C Golden. Hey, little baby. They got me over here taking shots already. Child, it's Montrez's birthday, and we had to celebrate little nephew Montrez. So many Pisces and Aries, child. My family have a whole lot of Capricorns in my family. Mm-hmm. All right, we got a lot of Capricorns, and we have a lot of Aries. We do have a lot of Aries and Capricorns. We have a lot of them. Look at Harold. Look at Harold. Harold, June is like a million months away. Like, really, Harold? Really, really. Ciao. Ciao. Anyway, is y'all ready for our Black History moment? Before we, all right, it's Women's History Month, but it's gonna be Black Women's History Month. Okay, we're doing Black Women's History Month. So let's learn today. I ain't even got the dossier up, y'all. I say that every day, huh? The dossier is not even up, y'all. Lord. All right. So today, let's learn the story of Francis Thompson. Okay, Francis Thompson is who we're learning about today. This is an interesting story. So take out your pens and your paper, and let's learn today. Frances Thompson, a transgender woman and anti-rape activist, became one of 5 Black women to testify before a congressional committee that at the time was investigating what occurred during the Memphis riots of 1866. Notice this is during the 1800s. She was born in 1840. Listen to the story. As a result of the testimony, Thompson is the first transgender woman in the U.S. history to testify before a committee of the United States Congress. Frances Thompson was born into slavery in 1840 to unnamed parents in Alabama. Much of her early life is unknown, but by the time she was 26, Thompson was living as a free woman in the Black community in Memphis, Tennessee. Thompson made a living doing laundry and living openly as a woman. The Memphis riots began on May 1st, 1866, after Black soldiers, women, and children began to gather in a public space in South Memphis. Gunshots broke out following the police's attempt to break up the group and arrest 2 soldiers. For 3 days, a white mob targeted communities of Black residents throughout the city. 46 Blacks and 2 whites died during the riot. There were also at least 5 rapes and 285 people were injured. During the riot, Frances Thompson and a roommate, Lucy Smith, were gang raped by 7 white men, including 2 police officers. Thompson testified that the 7 men came to their house and asked if they could have supper. Thompson gave them food, including biscuits and coffee. As they ate supper, they told Thompson and Lucy Smith that they wanted some Black women to sleep with. Frances Thompson responded, quote, we were not that sort of women, end of quote, and then told them, quote, you must go, end of quote. They responded by saying, quote, that didn't make a damn bit of difference, end of quote. The men attacked and gang raped both Frances Thompson and Lucy Smith and then robbed them. On June 1st, 1866, 1 month after the riots, Thompson and 170 women and men testified before the House Select Committee led by Illinois Republican politician Elihu B. Washburn. Or Elihu B. Washburn. The committee traveled to Memphis and assembled at the Gayoso House Hotel. In the rare congressional hearing outside the U.S. Capitol building, the women and men testified about the events that occurred during the Memphis riots. This resulted in Thompson becoming the first known transgender woman in U.S. history to testify before a congressional committee. A decade later, in 1876, Thompson was arrested and jailed in Memphis for cross-dressing. Thompson's biological gender would also be exposed after she was forced to undergo numerous physician examinations in which 4 physicians confirmed that her biological sex was male. Southern Democrats used her arrest as a, quote, man dressed in women's clothing, end of quote, to discredit her story of being raped during the Memphis riots 10 years earlier. Her arrest and male identity were also used to discredit other Black women's claims of rape by white men. The Democrats suggested that the entire congressional report was used mainly to manufacture propaganda to support Reconstruction. After her arrest, the conviction for cross-dressing after her arrest and the conviction for cross-dressing, Thompson was sentenced to the city chain gang, where she was forced to wear men's clothes and suffer sexual abuse. Frances Thompson was eventually released later in 1876, but she died later that year from dysentery at the age of 36. And that's the story of Frances Thompson, the pioneer um, in the LGBTQ and trans community and Black woman. I'd love to see something made, like a story made. I had never, when I saw this, y'all, I never heard the story of Frances Thompson. And y'all know I like to stay up to date and know my history on not just LGBTQ plus history, but Black LGBTQ plus history. And finding out this story of Frances Thompson, what she had to endure, I'd love to see something done to celebrate her life and who she was, because like you said, this could be a whole docu-series on her life as it relates, and that also with the Memphis riots. So I'd love to see something made, a book or something made out about it, but never heard of it. Her name is spelled Frances, Frances, and Thompson, like it's always spelled Thompson, Frances Thompson. Little known moment in Black history. Hopefully you learned something. I like to know if y'all learned or if you knew about this story. So let me know if you knew about Frances Thompson, and if this is the first time you heard of her. Let me know, because I like to always know whether or not you knew. And with that being said, y'all know what time it is. Ladies and gentlemen, non-binary gender conforming members of our audience, I bring to you the great Larry Myers to help us usher in our Sugar Spike segment.
Oh, God. You see, this is the part that I like.
Major sugar spike.
So loved the world, I want to fight. That he gave his only begotten son.
Major sugar spike.
And shall ever believe.
Major sugar spike.
They shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
Taste the biscuit.
Jesus! I wish somebody help me.
Jesus. Thank you, Larry. Y'all know we love Larry. So last night, last night we were over here doing the Lord's work. Do you hear me? We sat through this travesty that was somebody take care of whoever Michael is. Michael, they'll take care of you. Go see one of the hall monitors, Michael. You want to talk about Elon Musk being the greatest African American? Go over there and talk to one of my hall monitors. They'll take care of you. They'll get you what you need. Hall monitors, y'all know what to do, right? Go ahead and take care of him. Thank you. Thank you. Love you. I want to know which hall monitor does it. Whichever hall monitor takes care of him, let me know in the chat so I can know who to thank. So last night we were doing the Lord's work. Trump had his address to the joint session of Congress, and we had to sit through 100 minutes of this fuck shit and fuckery. Okay, 100. It was an hour and 40 minutes, y'all. We were over here really. And thank you to everybody that came over and suffered through it with me and watched it with me. It got so bad. The whole power grid here started messing up. I had to restart my computer everything in the middle of the live, but we still managed to get through it. It was a whole shit show. We were over here doing the Lord's work, okay? While this man uh, 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 gave an account of his assault on American democracy. Oh, it was Harold. Thank you, Harold. Listen. So he went on and on and on, about what he did, spewing lies. I sat through it, y'all. I watched it. We watched it from beginning to end. And so let me now shout out to Rachel Maddow, because I don't have the video, but Rachel Maddow did a great job last night of going through all of the lies that he told. But I did go to the Griot today, and the Griot today did in this article I found on the Griot, they did some fact checking on him. They so I'm going to list what they have here. The first fact check they have is the fact that he overstated the numbers on his immigration crackdown. He said, quote, illegal border crossings last month were by far the lowest ever recorded, ever, end of quote. The fact is, Trump wrote in a Truth Social post on Saturday that Border Patrol apprehended 8,326 people on the U.S.-Mexico border last month, but U.S. government data shows that the Border Patrol routinely averaged below that number in the 1960s. While February marked the lowest arrest totals in decades, Border Patrol's averaged less than February 2025 for the first 7 years of the 1960s. And the government website does not track U.S. and Mexican border totals before 1960. So he was not correct. Border Patrol's monthly average was 1,752 in 1961. So that was a lie. The next one was he inflated the number of people who entered the U.S. illegally under President Joe Biden. He said, quote, over the past 4 years, 21 million people poured into the United States. Many of them were murderers, human traffickers, gang members, end of quote. Here is the truth. That figure, which Trump cites regularly, is highly inflated. U.S. Customs and Border Patrol reported more than 10.8 million arrests for illegal crossings from Mexico from January 2021 through December 2024. But that's arrests, not people. Under asylum restrictions during COVID-19 pandemic, many people crossed more than once until they succeeded, but because there were no legal consequences for getting turned back to Mexico. So the number of people is lower than the number of arrests. There is no evidence other countries are sending their criminals or people with mental illness across the border, despite this frequent line by your president. The next lie was that he inflated. I'm sorry, I did that one. Economist was about tariffs. He said, quote, tariffs are about making America rich again and making America great again, and it's happening, and it will happen rather quickly. There'll be a little disturbance, but we're okay with that. It won't be much, end of quote. Here are the facts. Trump is banking on the idea that taxing imports is the road to riches for the United States. Most economists say Trump's tariffs would hurt the country as they are tax increases that could raise the cost of goods in ways that could also harm economic growth. Trump suggests that the impact on inflation would be minimal. When the Yale University Budget Lab looked at the tariffs that Trump imposed Tuesday on Canada, Mexico, and China, it found that inflation would increase a full percentage point. Growth would fall by half a percentage point, and the average household would lose about $1,600 in disposable income. The next false truth, he said, quote, Believe it or not, government databases list 4.7 million Social Security members from a member Social Security members from people aged 100 to 109 years old. It lists 3.6 million people from ages 110 to 119. 3.47 million people from ages 120 to 129, 3.9 million from ages 130 to 139, 3.5 million people from ages 140 to 149, and money is being paid to many of them, and we are searching right now. End of quote. Here are the facts. The databases may list those people, but that does not mean they are getting paid. Part of the confusion comes from Social Security's software system based on the COBOL programming language, which doesn't use a specific format for dates. This means that some entries with missing or incomplete birth dates will default to a reference point of more than 150 years ago. The news organization Wired first reported on the use of COBOL programming language at the Social Security Administration. Additionally, a series of reports from the Social Security Administration's Inspector General in March 2023 and July 2024 state that the agency has not established a new system to properly annotate death information in its database, which included roughly 18.9 million Social Security numbers of people born in 1920 or earlier, but were not marked as deceased. This does not mean, however, that these people were receiving benefits. The agency decided not to update the database because of the cost to do so, which would run upwards of $9 million. As of 2015, the agency automatically stops payment to people who are older than 115 years old. Here's the next line. He said, quote, among my very highest priorities is to rescue our economy and get dramatic and immediate relief to working families. As you know, we inherited from the last administration an economic catastrophe and an inflation nightmare, end of quote. Here's the facts. Inflation peaked at 9.1 in 2022 under President Joe Biden, but Trump did not inherit a disastrous economy by any measure. The unemployment rate ticked down to a low of 4% in January, the month he took office. While the economy expanded a healthy 2.8% in 2024, inflation adjusted incomes have grown steadily since mid 2023, and inflation, while showing signs of stickiness in recent months and still elevated at 3% in January, is down from its 2022 peak. His next slide, quote, we have ended the last administration's insane electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto workers and companies from economic destruction, end of quote. Here is the truth. There was no federal mandate to force the purchase of electric vehicles, as Trump has falsely claimed many times before. Biden had set up a non-binding goal that electric vehicles make up half of new cars sold by 2030. Trump issued an executive order on his first day in office revoking that goal. Biden's policies tightened restrictions on pollution from gas-powered cars and trucks in an effort to encourage Americans to buy electric vehicles and car companies to shift from gas-powered vehicles to electric cars. Here's the next line. He said, quote, I am pleased to report that in January, the U.S. Army had its single best recruiting month in 15 years, end of quote. Now, I said in real time, if y'all were here last night, I said I don't believe that that's the truth. I'd love to see the numbers on that. I said that on the live last night because I just didn't believe that that was true. Here's the facts. Trump has repeatedly claimed the Army's recruiting turnaround is tied to his time in office. In fact, according to Army data, recruiting numbers have been increasing steadily over the past year, with the highest total coming in August 2024, just before the November election. Army officials closely track recruiting numbers. A significant driver of the recruiting success was the Army's decision to launch the Future Soldier Prep course at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, in August 2022. That program gives lower performing recruits up to 90 days of academic or fitness instruction to help them meet military requirements and move on to basic training. And those are the lies that they chronicled for us from last night. I'm sure there were more. Oh, let me forget the biggest lie. This is a lie that I definitely want to talk about. So last night he said, quote, the government was spending, quote, $8 million for making mice transgender. This is real. End of quote. That's what he said. He then went on to talk about call out the Biden administration for spending taxpayer dollars on transgender mice, on quote, transgender mice and other gender bending social experiments, end of quote. Well, we found out that that was a lie because the man cannot read. The man cannot read. Hey, Aquarius, the real sign. Hey, Liz, go from over there across the pond down to the UK. Hey, Symmetry. Hey, everybody coming in. Hey, everybody coming in. All right. So, here's what really is going on. Because you know the people went and started looking this up. Okay. Now, the truth of the matter is they're not transgender mice. It's transgenic mice. TRANSGENIC. Transgenic or transgenic mice. Not transgender mice. And just so you know, transgenic mice are used to study diseases that helps pharmaceutical companies discover trends in certain diseases and find best medications and help discover new medicines that helps us with diseases and treatment of and different treatments and different medications for different diseases. So it had nothing to do with, there was an $8 million grant, but the $8 million grant was to help fund a study on transgenic mice that are being used to help the American public. I mean, the field of molecular biology came right out last night and said, yeah, that's not how this works. That's not. But when you have a president and a secretary of health and human services who are fucking morons, then they come out and say things like that. And you got all over TikTok the fucking bigots and racists and homophobes and transphobe. They took to it because anytime their God King says anything, it must be true. And now you and your God King look like fucking idiots that can't read. You fucking illiterate piece of shit. You and your whole ass roid bot. Fucking Robert F. Kennedy, who sounds like some roided out bot. God of mercy. God of love. In other news from last night, our boy, not Senator, but Representative Al Green of the great state of Texas down to the Houston area, well, he was summarily put out of the address because he got up and when Donald Trump said that he had a mandate from the American public, he got up and said, "You have no mandate, bitch. You have no." Well, he ain't adding bitch. I'm adding bitch. Okay, you have no mandate. You have no mandate. He was the only one that had a sack of testicles. Anyone with any guts, anyone with any testicular or intestinal fortitude on the left to stand up to him and say, "Bitch, you're lying." And he would not sit down. And I don't blame him. I do not blame him. and he was escorted out and said he did not care. Now, you should know that, of course, the Republicans pounced on this. This is all they needed. So, uh, uh, um, Republican Representative Dan Newhouse of the great state of Washington has introduced a resolution um, that Speaker Mike Johnson said they will vote on. He's introduced a resolution to censure Representative Al Green for his outburst at the speech last night. Here's my question, because while y'all was up there putting up these little placards or these little lollipop signs or whatever they were, my question to you is this, members of the Democratic Party. When Al Green got escorted out, why the fuck didn't the entirety of that whole side of the building get the fuck up and walk out with him? It's because you knew what he was going to do up there. You knew he was going to go up there and spew lies. You knew that he was going to go up there. I mean, what are you there for? You're going to have the opportunity. They give you copies of the speech. Okay. You will have the opportunities to watch it afterwards. When Al Green got thrown out, y'all as a collective should have stood y'all asses up. Certainly the Congressional Black Caucus should have stood the fuck up and said, we're not having it. Now, there was another moment where members of the Democratic side later on in the speech got up and they took off their jackets and they had on shirts that had stuff written on it and walked out and tried to have a moment. You missed the moment. The moment y'all should have got up and did that is when Representative Green was escorted out. The entirety of that left side should have cleared the fuck out. Should have cleared out in solidarity with Representative Al Green. And if not the entirety of the left side, it damn sure should have been the CBC. I'm just saying. Because the American people, your constituents, your Democratic base has a problem right now with how you are looking, how you're posturing, and how you seem to be so fucking weak. If that would have been a sign of solidarity, and that might have been something that would have let your base know that you are serious, that you will not stand idly by and listen to this man spew lies. And then you putting up these little signs silently. First of all, the cameras didn't even pan to the signs enough for us to see them. Secondly, it was so far away, we really couldn't read what was on the sign. And thirdly, that wasn't you needed to steal the moment from him, because let's be clear. Had you all done like Representative Al Green, because at this point, the guardrails are off. There's no decorum left on the House floor, okay? There's no decorum left in the House of Representatives. You realize these are the fuckers who told you January 6th was a regular day down to the Capitol. So if that shit was a regular day down to the Capitol, the way we finna interrupt this man's motherfucking speech is gonna be a regular day down to an address to the joint session of Congress. That's the kind of shit you need to have going on. But these motherfuckers sat their ass there and are having silent protests. What the fuck is that shit? Representative Al Green is like 77 or 78 years old, walking on a damn cane, and you bitches are sitting down having silent protests and silent agitations of him. What the fuck was that shit? This is what people are talking about. If you're just gonna be silent the whole time, then why come? Like, I'm like, what the CBC, what has become of our beloved Congressional Black Caucus? I really want to know that. Because the members who started the CBC, going back to Charles Rangel and Shirley Chisholm and my girl who I love so much, Barbara Jordan, and all of those people who started the CBC some 50 plus years ago. What the fuck do y'all got? You are shitting on their graves. You are literally shitting on their fucking legacies because you sit your ass there and just be meek and mild. And it's not even meek and mild where you know in the background they really making it done. It's meek and mild and then not having a plan for how to move us the fuck forward. I might be spiking out, y'all. I might be spiking out, huh? But that shit made me mad. And then to add insult to, because listen, this whole thing, because they're going to move to vote to censure Al Green. That's going to happen. We watched, what was that, early last year, when they censured, they voted to censure members of the Democratic Party because because of what they said about Gaza. And you had Democrat members of Congress voting yes to censure members of their own Congress only because they called what was going on in Gaza a genocide. So I fully expect that you'll have members of the Democratic Party that vote to censure Al Green. This is the fuck shit that we have going on. And I lost my mind then too. I'm just saying. Like, it would. This is what people mean when they say you're so horrible with missing the mark, missing the moment, bad messaging. That shit was horrible. And then in the middle of the speech, he called out when he mentioned his cabinet and Marco Rubio. He called out the fact that Marco Rubio was voted in 100-0. At which was a slap in the face because he was basically telling you #Bohica, baby. Bend over. Here it comes again. #Bohica. Because he was shoving it up your ass, telling you, oh, Dems, y'all voted for Marco Rubio. And he's giving it to y'all without lube, rubbing it in y'all face. This is why I kept saying, why the fuck are you stupid ass punk bitches voting for these fuckers? The people want to see passion. The people want to know that if you're telling us that democracy is dying, that you give a damn and you give a shit. And I just don't see the motherfucking passion. Where's the exigence of the situation? Like, there's no exigency with these people. And it's like you're just going to sit there and just let it die and sit there and let your constituents bear the brunt of all of this. But then you're going to be looking for us to vote for you. I'm just saying. Exactly, Symmetry. Call your representatives. Tell them they better not support. They better be screaming from the rooftops about this report from Al Green. Fuck decorum. Fuck rules of order. Because when Marjorie Taylor Greene back in 2023 was screaming at President Joe Biden, nobody was escorting her out. When she was blatantly interrupting President Joseph Robinette Biden, nobody was throwing her out. Nobody was threatening her at all. They just let her ass go. A mess. A damn mess. Just a goddamn mess. In other news, here's the other reason why the CBC should have walked out. Because during his speech, he called out our girl Stacy Abrams. Yet another lie that he was throwing out there. So he tried to call out our girl Stacy Abrams. He said, "quote We know she's in." What did he say? He said, and this is what he was talking about this clandestine government Department of Government Efficiency, and he said that they found $1.9 billion that was used to form a committee focused on the decarbonization of homes. The committee he claimed was headed by Stacy Abrams. He said, "quote We know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed over by a woman named Stacy Abrams. Have you heard of her?" End of quote. Stacy Abrams, who understood the assignment and was unbothered, went on her social media and said, "quote I'm proud of my work protecting civil rights and lowering energy costs for Georgians." End of quote. Because she had nothing to apologize for. Nothing. And was here for it. Now, the fact checkers say that that was a lie. That was exaggerated. They say the president's claim has been labeled as exaggerated by a New York Times fact checker. PolitiFact also deemed a version of the claim that Abrams, quote, stole $2 billion from taxpayers, end of quote, as false. The claim stems from a provision in the Inflation Reduction Act that directed Congress to give grants to organizations across the country to make energy efficient home improvements. Power Forward Communities, a coalition of 5 organizations focused on decarbonizing housing, received one of those grants for $2 billion. Abrams served for 1 year as a senior advisor to one of the 5 organizations that make up the coalition, but did not lead the group. And now she went on CNN this morning and she gave a wider response when asked about what he said when he mentioned her name. And she said, "quote He is trying to distract Americans from his failure to deliver on any of his promises. And instead of doing his work, he's going after those of us who are actually doing the work of the American people." End of quote. She also said, "quote I am very proud of the work that I've done to protect voting rights, to lower the cost of energy for real people in the state of Georgia, and working with organizations that want to do it around the country, because Donald Trump is failing in his promises and focusing on petty retribution instead of fulfilling his promises to the American people." End of quote. Now, my question is, CBC, why the fuck were y'all listen? Even if y'all didn't leave, um, um, even if y'all didn't leave, like I said, when Al Green left, even because that was the assignment. The assignment, y'all should have left when Al Green left. Even if y'all didn't leave then, when his ass mentioned Stacey Abrams by name, and you knew he was incorrect, and you knew he was just throwing out racist, rabbit shit lies for his racist ass base, why the fuck were y'all still sitting y'all asses there? CBC, what the fuck are y'all doing? I'm just saying. Let me move on. In some tragic news, after this disaster and debacle that was this address to the joint session of Congress, Texas Congressman Sylvester Turner, former mayor of the city of Houston, he died after the speech. He died last night. He was there at the address. He was 70 years old, and multiple sources are reporting and confirmed that he passed away last night. Now he was elected in November 2024 to fill the seat that was left vacant by Representative Sheila Jackson Lee. He filled the seat that Sheila Jackson Lee left vacant when she died from pancreatic cancer. But he was there last night, and apparently they say he died last night. He served as mayor of Houston for 8 years. I think all the way up until he became the representative. I'm not sure if there was now back in 2022 they say that he was diagnosed with bone cancer and received radiation treatments, but they said that at the time he was cancer free. I'm sure there'll be autopsies and there'll be information that will come out about his untimely death. But this was devastating news to the Houston community and to his colleagues in the House. So we're definitely sending condolences, thoughts, and prayers to his family, friends, and loved ones. So sad to hear that's a horrible news. Sylvester Turner dead at the age of 70. In other news from last night, after the speech, well, fuck boy extraordinaire, House Speaker Mike Johnson's chief of staff was arrested on a DUI charge last night after the speech. Y'all had a lot going on after the speech last night. Like, this shit was a whole fucking debacle. Hayden Haynes, the chief of staff to House Speaker Mike Johnson and one of the most powerful aides on Capitol Hill, was arrested after Donald Trump's joint address to Congress for drunken driving after his car struck a Capitol vehicle, two law enforcement sources told NBC News. Speaker Johnson's office also confirmed the incident. One of the sources told NBC News that a police report indicated that Haynes hit a Capitol vehicle around midnight and was arrested and released with a citation to appear in court. The arrest came after Trump's speech Tuesday night when Speaker Johnson presided over the House floor and sat just behind the president's left shoulder. Quote, a driver backed into a parked vehicle last night around 11:40 p.m., end of quote. And that's according to the U.S. Capitol Police. They went on to say, quote, we responded and arrested them for DUI, end of quote. Haynes is a trusted and longtime aide to Mike Johnson. He has also served as chief of staff in the Speaker's office since Johnson won the top job in the House in October 2023. Before that, Haynes served as chief of staff to Mike Johnson in his personal office from 2017 to 2023. He also had worked in various roles for former Senator David Vitter, another Louisiana Republican, from 2009 to 2016. Asked by NBC News today whether Johnson was standing by Haynes, Speaker Johnson was standing by Haynes, he said, quote, I am, end of quote. They had a lot going on last night. A lot was going on last night. Right. Put them in there with Karen. I'm just saying. Moving on. Because stupid people do stupid things and then they have to backpedal and pussy pop off of the stupid ass things that they do. So your president has now stated, just one day after he announced new tariffs, now he's saying that he's going to pause tariffs on cars and automobiles from Mexico and Canada for 1 month. Now, I suspect There'll be other things that he's going to pause tariffs on because this is going to devastate so many industries. Now, last night, he touted the fact that the leaders of all of the auto industries were applauding him for his tariffs and were saying that tariffs were such a great thing. Remember that? Remember that? Remember he was saying that last night? Well, here we are. President Donald Trump has granted an exemption on auto tariffs on Mexico and Canada for 1 month. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt announced Wednesday, issuing a major, albeit temporary, concession on a key part of his administration's economic plan. After speaking with Ford, General Motors, and Stellantis, Trump said he agreed to a reprieve to ensure America's big three automakers aren't harmed financially. But the tariffs are not off, not yet anyway. Quote, at the request of the companies associated with USMCA, the president is giving them an exemption for 1 month so they're not at an economic disadvantage, end of quote. And that's what fuck bitch ass Caroline said in the White House press briefing room today. Now, for those that may not know what that acronym is, USMCA refers to the free trade agreement that was signed during the first Trump administration amongst the U.S., Mexico, and Canada. So USMCA is United States, Mexico, and Canada. And that's what replaced NAFTA, if you remember. These people don't have a fucking clue. And all of the people that he has in place that's supposed to have a fucking clue, them bitches don't have a fucking clue. They don't have fucking a fucking idea of what they're doing. And I hope Mexico and China says, we don't give a damn what you do and say. Our tariffs are still on. Fuck you and fuck your life. In more news of people that don't know what the fuck they're doing and don't have a goddamn clue, well, this is one of our federal buildings. Well, listen to this. The Trump administration on Tuesday published a list of more than 400 federal properties. It says it could close or sell, including the FBI headquarters and the main Department of Justice building, after deeming them, quote, not core to government operations, end of quote. Quote, these buildings are not core to government operations. The list published by the General Services Administration includes some of the country's most recognizable buildings and spans nearly every state, with properties ranging from courthouses to office buildings and parking garages. In Washington, D.C., it includes the J. Edgar Hoover Building, which serves as FBI headquarters, the Robert F. Kennedy Department of Justice building, the old post office building where President Donald Trump once ran a hotel, and the American Red Cross headquarters. The headquarters of numerous agencies, including Department of Labor and the Department of Housing and Urban Development, are listed as well. Also on the list are the enormous Major General Emmett J. Bean Federal Center in Indiana, the Sam Nunn Atlanta Federal Center, and the Speaker Nancy Pelosi Federal Building in San Francisco. Roughly 80% of the country's 2.4 million federal workers are based outside of metropolitan Washington, D.C. When asked about this list of 443 properties, the GSA, or the General Services Administration, they said, quote, we are identifying buildings and facilities that are not core to government operations or non-core properties for disposals. It- um, Selling the properties ensures that taxpayer dollars are no longer spent on vacant or underutilized federal space. It helps eliminate costly maintenance and allows us to reinvest in high quality work environments that support agency missions. End of quote. The designations are part of Trump and billionaire Elon Musk's unprecedented effort to slash the size of the federal workforce and shrink government spending. Selling the designated buildings could save the federal government hundreds of millions of dollars, they claim, while also dramatically reshaping how major cabinet agencies funded by Congress operate. But didn't you just tell these people that they got to go back into the buildings and work while you're ceremoniously saying you're about to sell these buildings? I wonder who they're going to sell them to. Anybody have a clue as to who they're going to sell them to? You know, why can't we have Doge really investigate who these buildings will be sold to? Probably because it'll be sold to companies owned by Elon Musk or owned by Donald Trump or owned by these people's families and friends. I Also on the list is the National Museum of American Diplomacy in Washington, D.C. Um, you also federal buildings bearing the names of civil rights icons Martin Luther King Jr. in Atlanta and Rosa Parks in Detroit, and the Montgomery, Alabama bus station that was pivotal in the civil rights movement and now serves as the Freedom Rides Museum. Those buildings are also on the list to be sold. Hmm. Hmm. Yep. Oh, that's not the end of the story. I told you these fucktards do shit and then find out, oh, that was the wrong thing to do. We probably shouldn't have did that. And go back and backpedal and pussy pop. I mean, I just don't understand. Here's the Here's an update to the story. The Trump administration on Tuesday published a list of more than 440 federal properties it had identified to close or sell, including the federal headquarters and the main Department of Justice building, the FBI headquarters, and the main Department of Justice building after deeming them, quote, not core to government operations, end of quote. However, hours later, the administration issued a revised list with only 320 entries on said list, none in Washington, D.C. And by this morning, the list was gone completely. By this morning, the list was gone completely. These people don't have a fucking clue. This is why we keep telling y'all we may not have an American government as we know it to come back to. For all of this sitting on the couch, people, by the time you get up, there might not be anything to get up for. These people don't have a fucking clue. Don't have a fucking clue. But y'all were worried about the economy. In more news, now, in what was a surprise to me, this came out of the Supreme Court today. A divided Supreme Court on Wednesday, that's today, rejected the Trump administration's request to keep billions of dollars in federal aid approved by Congress frozen. However, the court did not immediately say when the money must be released, allowing the White House to continue to dispute the issue in lower court. In lower courts, the ruling was 5-4. The order was unsigned, but 4 conservative justices dissented: Samuel Alito, Clarence Thomas, Neil Gorsuch, and Brett Kavanaugh. That put 5 justices in the majority: Chief Justice John Roberts, Amy Coney Barrett, Elena Kagan, Sonia Sotomayor, and Ketanji Brown Jackson. The majority noted that given a court-ordered deadline to spend the money last week had already passed, the lower courts should, quote, clarify what obligations the government must fulfill to ensure compliance with the temporary restraining order, end of quote. In a strongly worded dissent, Justice Alito wrote that he was, quote, stunned, end of quote, by the court's decision to permit the lower court judge to order the administration to unfreeze the federal aid at issue in the case. He added, quote, a federal court has many tools to address a party's supposed nonfeasance. Self-aggrandizement of its jurisdiction is not one of them, end of quote. While the ruling was 5-4, it was, quote, extremely modest, end of quote, said Steve Vladek, a CNN Supreme Court analyst and professor at Georgetown University Law Center. The fact that they didn't put any teeth on this and are sending it back down to the lower court and didn't tell him that he must immediately unfreeze these funds, give these people latitude to just to go with whatever they want to go with. We'll see what the lower court rules. In more news, we just spiking the hell out today. So here's your update on the measles outbreak. As a measles outbreak in West Texas continues to grow, the response from U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy has leaned heavily on treatment with vitamin A, as well as, quote, good results, in the quote, from the use of the steroid budesonide, the antibiotic clarithromycin, and cod liver oil. Doctors say that this messaging might take away from efforts to increase vaccination, and some misinformation about these therapies is already circulating online. Many U.S. doctors have never seen measles, given that the virus was declared eliminated in the country in 2000. There are no antiviral medications specifically to treat measles infections. Quote, vitamin A is not a substitute for vaccination, end of quote, said Dr. Megan Rainey, dean of the Yale School of Public Health. Vitamin A is important for vision and immunity. The World Health Organization recommends 2 doses for all children and adults who are diagnosed with measles. Guidance from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention also says vitamin A should be given to children with severe measles, such as those who are hospitalized, and specific doses based on age. In an opinion piece published Sunday on Fox News, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. referenced studies that show that vitamin A can, quote, dramatically reduce measles mortality, end of quote. Speaking to Fox News on Tuesday, he described how the CDC has been on the ground in West Texas, and discussed the use of cod liver oil, which has high amounts of vitamin A and D. However, vitamin A is most useful for measles support in patients who have a specific deficiency. The studies mainly draw on evidence from low-income countries where the deficiency is common. Not here. It, quote, it's actually valid information, but it is out of context, end of quote. And that's according to Dr. Amesh Adalja, a senior scholar at the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security. Quote, vitamin A supplementation can be life-saving for measles cases when vitamin A deficiency is present, end of quote. according to Dr. Adalja. In these cases, it strengthens the immune system in providing a response against the virus. But in the American context, the data for vitamin A use in measles is weak. And that's according to Dr. Peter Hotez, co-director of the Texas Children's Hospital Center for Vaccine Development and dean of the National School for Tropical Medicine at Baylor College of Medicine. Vitamin A, quote, vitamin A really doesn't have much of a role in the current discussion on the West Texas measles epidemic because it becomes a distraction about what we really need to focus on, which is vaccinating our kids, end of quote. Beyond the updated CDC guidelines on vitamin A, there's no set treatment regimen for measles because cases in the U.S. have been generally rare. One of the medications that Kennedy mentioned, the antibiotic clarithromycin, clarithromycin, could be an attempt to prevent secondary bacterial infections like pneumonia, but evidence for that is limited. Budesonide is a steroid with a variety of uses, but it's not clear how it might help someone with measles. Quote, it's really important to not conflate what is supportive or adjunctive care for measles versus curative treatment for measles. End of quote. And that's according to Dr. Christina Johns, a pediatric emergency physician at PM Pediatrics in Annapolis, Maryland. She went on to say, quote, there is no treatment for measles. I believe that it is incredibly important to speak very clearly and directly with regard to measles therapy, end of quote. And they go on and on and on. This article has I'm going to put this article in the chat, but this article speaks to doctors over and over and over, speaking to, hey, Jay Parrish, the fact that this man is spewing out misinformation. You know, people going to run with it, go on TikTok and other places and talk about these treatments like it's really going to help, and it's not. You got people probably out there buying cod liver oil by the case instead of having their children vaccinated. Oh, it gets better because you thought it was just over there in Texas and New Mexico. Well, here's more. Florida, yes, my home state of Florida, has confirmed its first measles case of the year as outbreaks continue to spread across several U.S. states. The case involves a student at Miami Palmetto Senior High in Pinecrest. I know exactly where that is. And that's according to an email obtained by CBS News Miami. That's Channel 4. Measles, once declared eliminated in the U.S., has been making we already know all about that. So now we have it in Florida. Listen, this is what y'all wanted. Listen, scientists have said measles is one of the most infectious diseases on earth, which is why you want your children to be fucking vaccinated. You stupid ass people that are not y'all, but the people that are out here talking about, oh, I want my child vaccinated because you believe in people who are saying that vaccinations causes autism, negating the whole fact that back in the day, they didn't even have the proper ways to test whether a child truly was autistic. That's why you have more cases now, because ways to determination of a child being autistic has gotten better. Whatever. Moving on. In more news, the Department of Veteran Affairs is planning to cut 8,000 jobs as part of an aggressive reorganization of the agency this summer, according to the Associated Press, which cited an internal memo it obtained. The memo sent by the VA Chief of Staff, Christopher Cyrek, says the agency-wide reorganization will take place this August and instructs top-level officials to prepare to, quote, resize and tailor the workforce to the mission and revised structure, end of quote. Cyrek said in the memo that agency officials should work with the Department of Government Efficiency to move out, to quote, move out aggressively while taking a pragmatic and disciplined approach, in the quote, to the president's administration goals. Now, this Cyrek guy says the agency plans to cut enough employees to return to 2019 levels. 2019, notice that was during the Trump's first administration, right? To 2019 levels of staffing, which was just under 400,000 positions. Doing so would require cutting tens of thousands of jobs at the VA that were created under the Biden administration, including through the 2022 PACT Act, which expanded coverage to veterans affected by burn pits. Now, they've already been cutting from the VA. They have already cut under this presidency. There was 1,400 employees that they cut last week, Monday. And then 1,000 cuts early. 1,000 people were cut and lost their job earlier in February. Last Tuesday, VA Secretary Doug Collins announced the cancellation of 875 contracts. Now, you should know the issue with the VA is it has been grossly understaffed for decades now. Grossly understaffed. The personnel at most VAs will tell you that. People that go, the veterans that go and get treatment down to the VA will tell you that. The Veterans Affairs Administration has been grossly understaffed for decades now. And now they say, well, damn that. All of this, Pete Hegseth saying that he cares about soldiers and cares about goddamn veterans when he was, on the floor of the Senate, not on the floor of the Senate, but before the committee, when he was getting confirmed, said, oh, I care about veterans. Nobody cares about veterans more than I am. And now we're cutting 80,000 jobs from Veteran Affairs, from an agency that was already grossly understaffed. These are y'all people. In more news, in our last sugar spiky story of the day, thank you, 7 pound, 3 ounce. Oh no, that's not, I'm sorry, that's not all that. Hold on, because I'm missing a story. I'm not supposed to be on this story yet, y'all. Hold on, y'all. I'll get to that story in a second. I can't believe I left that story out. Sorry, y'all. I gotta do a story. There is a story that I said I have to do this story today. I just heard of this story today. I have to do this story. I was literally, when I heard this story and it came to me, I started crying. It bothered me. It touched me that much that I literally started crying thug tears. Y'all know I don't cry for nothing. Y'all know I'm a whole ass thug over here. But I literally started crying. This story affected me that much. There is a video attached to this. I watched the video, and that's what sent me over. I am definitely not going to show you the video. I watched the video and began uncontrollably weeping. So I have to do this story today. I will not let today go without doing this story. So we have to unfortunately, um, speak the name of this young man. We have to speak his name. His name is Jalen Sebron. Jalen, Jalin. Last name Sebron. All right. Less than 15 seconds after arriving in the main event parking lot, a Douglas County deputy had already shot 23-year-old Jalen Sebron 9 times. And that's according to the body camera footage released Monday. Body camera footage shows that 9 rounds were shot at point blank range into Jalen's back within 3 seconds. The deputy was responding to a report of an active shooting at the Highlands Ranch Arcade and Entertainment Center just before midnight on February 8th when he saw Sebron holding a gun in the parking lot. Douglas County Sheriff's Office said Sebron pointed his gun at several people outside the arcade and ignored multiple commands from the deputy to drop the weapon. Sheriff's Office said the deputy was left with no choice but to shoot Sebron after he turned toward the deputy. However, the body cam footage shows none of that. The body, and this is according to Jalen's family's attorney, Tyrone Glover, and I saw the video. It shows none of this. The video footage confirms, quote, the footage confirms our worst. Jalen Sebron, a young man celebrating his 23rd birthday, was unjustifiably gunned down while trying to protect his family, end of quote. Glover said Sebron never pointed his weapon at anyone, and when you watch the video, he doesn't point his gun at anyone. His back was turned to the deputy when the deputy shot him. The deputy never identified himself or gave a warning before using deadly force, and Sebron was given no time to comply with the deputy's commands. Body camera footage shows that when the deputy arrived on scene, he immediately exited his vehicle and ran towards Sebron with a gun he had assembled and prepared while driving to the arcade. In the video, you see the sheriff's deputy assembling an assault rifle while driving in the car and put it in his lap. The assault rifle was already in his lap when he parks, gets out the car, goes toward Jalen, immediately shoots, and within 3 seconds, 9 rounds were shot at point blank into his back. Now, the tragedy of this story is the original call was made because there was a woman inside who there was a woman inside who was threatening people with a gun. 2 women had got into an altercation and they were threatening each other, and a woman fired her gun at another woman inside the building. Jalen comes out. Jalen done took out his piece because he was like, I'm protecting my family. So he's corralling his family, telling them, y'all go, I'm coming. I'm going to make sure y'all good. He gets by his car, and you could see him trying to protect his family, and the police jumps out and shoots him. It's one of the most horrific things that I've seen in a long time. I was visibly sobbing and weeping. It's so horrible. So horrible. So horrible. I could not. I watched there is the video. The video is I can't. I'm not, if you want to see it, the video is available. I'm going to put this website, of the CBS story, and I'm putting the CBS story. They don't have the video, but they have a link to video in, if there's something you want, um, something you want to see. But um, it is devastating to watch. Devastating. Devastating. Young man trying to protect his family. Had nothing to do with what was going on. Didn't even have an opportunity to comply. Didn't have an opportunity to put the gun down. Didn't have an opportunity to do anything. And now his life is gone. Devastating. His name is Jalen Brown. Jalin. I'm not Brown. Jalen Sebron. Sebron. I said Brown. Jalen Sebron. First name is Jalin. Last name is Seabron. Jalin is the first name. Seabron is the last name. Tragic story. I did not want to end today without giving you this. I had to give that. I don't know how I left this out. This story I was about to do is about a young lady who thought she was above the law. Her name is Abigail Jo Shry. She's 44. She's a MAGA supporter who thought that she was going to be on the pardon list from Donald John Trump when he pardoned all of those J6ers. Now, she's now facing another prison term after she left racist voicemails, then similarly targeted a black congresswoman who has since passed away, according to authorities. Abigail Jo Shry, 44, pleaded guilty in November to transmission in interstate commerce containing a threat to injure the person of another, a crime that was not covered under Donald John Trump's pardon after he took office in January. Shry is scheduled for sentencing on May 5th in the Southern District of Texas. Her lawyer declined to comment to news outlets. Federal authorities say Shry left a threatening voicemail for U.S. District Judge Tanya Chutkan, who was overseeing former President Donald John Trump's January 6th case in Washington, D.C. During the August 5th, 2023 call, she began with a racial slur, calling Chutkan a, quote, stupid slave nigger, end of quote, before threatening anyone prosecuting Trump, all Democrats in Washington, D.C., and the LGBTQ plus community. She also singled out Democratic U.S. Representative Sheila Jackson Lee, who died last July. She went further than racist insults, according to documents. She said, quote, "Hey, you stupid slave nigger. All Democrats in Washington, D.C., and all people in the LGBTQ community. You are in our sights. We want to kill you. If Trump doesn't get elected in 2024, we are coming to kill you. So tread lightly, bitch. You will be targeted personally, publicly, your family, all of it." End of quote. Since Shry placed the call from her cell phone, Homeland Security agents quickly tracked her to a home in Alvin, Texas, near Houston. Shry admitted to leaving the voicemail threat to Judge Chutkan, but claimed she had no plans to go to Washington, D.C. or Houston to act on it. However, she added that if Sheila Jackson Lee came to Alvin, quote, "we need to worry," end of quote. At that point, she was taken into custody. During her plea hearing, she reportedly argued that her statements in the message were protected under the First Amendment. I don't need to read no more. Lock this bitch up. And I want somebody in there to fuck her ass up. That's it. That's all. lock her ass up. Oh, I'm sorry, she's already locked up. Throw away the key. And I need somebody inside to go ahead and fuck this bitch up. Just fuck her ass up. Just for me, please. Can somebody in there go ahead and fuck her ass up for me, please? That's all I need. As we move out of the Sugar Spike segment further into the dossier, my frat brother here, former NFL player Brandon Marshall, is in the news. Now, should I play his comments? I'm going to let y'all hear it from him. Hold on. I'm going to let y'all hear what he had to say. I don't want y'all to take it from me. You know, I don't like quoting people wrong. I like y'all to hear it from them. So let me let y'all hear it in his words. Here's what he had to say.
Grown man that's out there.
What's it like re-entering that space, man?
Crazy.
Crazy?
Crazy. Hey, listen to me. The women are the new niggas.
You get flued out?
I got flew out one time. To Mexico.
What part of Mexico? What are we talking about?
And this was like A-list actress.
Flew you out to Mexico for a good time. And you can't hide. Like,
Yeah.
Brandon Marshall's in Mexico.
No. But like that word is different. We don't know how to move as athletes.
Yeah.
We know how to move. You in Hollywood, they know how to move. The rooms, everything set up, back doors and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Know how to be discreet. They open up with that. Here's an NDA.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Have you slid those before, the NDAs?
No, I never did that because like I'm new to this. I was protected.
The man said he gets flued out. Listen, he said women are the new niggas. That's what he said. I ain't saying it. The man said women are the new niggas and he gets flued out. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what y'all want from me. I just report the stories. Don't look at me. I just report the stories. Are y'all fly? Is y'all flying him out? Now I talked to somebody. I have a friend that used to work that's a trainer for an NFL team that worked with him. Now that friend of mine said, "Oh, it's a lot going on, and you definitely want a part of that." I said, "Really?" He was like, "Really?" I said, I ain't flying nobody out either, crazy homebody girl. I'm just saying. But I'm guessing if you're an A-list actress and you got millions of dollars like that, and you got the money to have somebody flued out and sign the NDAs, go ahead with your bad self. Get it how you live. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Are y'all paying for this? Are y'all flying? Ladies, if you had the money, would you have somebody flued out? And if you would, who would you have? Ladies, I want to know. If money was not an option and you could have somebody flued out and they would sign the NDA, who would you have flued out? I just want to know. Who would you have flued out? Inquiring minds want to know. They say ladies are the new, that's what he said. He said ladies are the new niggas. I'm just saying. Yeah, he played at UCF. Mm-hmm. Child, spicy original. Child. Peen is free, but I guess if you got money like that, you want some good select. You want to be able to have a resume builder. It ain't just the peen; it's the name attached to the peen that you want some parts of. I'm just saying, child. I heard it's big. Now Xavier, I don't know how good it is. I ain't talked to nobody that been with him, but I talked to somebody that seen it. They synced it. Baby, they say, you gonna get what you looking for. I'm just saying. Anyway, moving on. It news. It this story really, to me, falls under this. This story falls under our hashtag ABC. This is clearly a hashtag ABC.
ABC. A bitch can't. A bitch can't get a hit. A bitch can't get on the charts. A bitch can't get a Grammy. A bitch just can't.
A bitch just can't. I'm just saying. Now, y'all finally taught me how to pronounce this woman's name. Her name is Bad Bobby, y'all say? Whatever. Her boyfriend, on again, off again boyfriend, Lavon, they say he got shot down to the script club. He was in an LA script club, and they say he got shot. They say he got shot in the hand. I don't really care. I don't care. Moving on. America's bowel movement. Amber Rose is in the news. She's accusing Joseline Hernandez of trying to sleep with her before she got her ass fucked up down to the by Joseline down to the College Hill. I don't know. I don't care. She said Joseline was trying to have sex with her um the whole time they was on College Hill. She said Joseline was telling her shit like, quote, just give me a chance one time. But if you're cool with it, we can do it in front of my husband. But if not, it can just be me and you. End of quote. I don't care. I really don't. Both of these women are part of America's bowel movement. Yes. I don't give a damn. I want no parts of two of the worst of us, two of the worst people walking the face of the earth, scissoring, licking each other, or whatever they do to each other. I don't know. I don't give a damn. A bitch just can't. In our last story of the day, we announced about a week and a half ago that Lester Holt was leaving NBC Nightly News. He's It's been announced that he's going to be replaced by Tom Giannis. It's being announced that he's being replaced by Tom Giannis. So for those of you who watch NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt, he will be replaced by Tom Giannis. I'm not sure when that replacement will come. I think they said something like this summer. But for those people wondering, that's who will be replacing Lester Holt. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the dossier for today. We made it through. We got it done. That is it. That is all. I thank y'all for being here with me and pulling through. Shout out to our boy Montrez, whose birthday is today. Happy birthday, Montrez. We're so glad to celebrate with you today, Montrez. Happy birthday. How old are you turning, Montrez? We needs to know. How old is Montrez? Never told us how old he's turning. Anyway, he's already on Dateline. He's been on Dateline for years, but Tacos and Tequila, he's just gonna only do we already did the birthday shot, Tracy. You missed it. I don't know where you was. So anyway, y'all, I'm about to get out of here, get something to eat. As I always say, I love y'all. I love on y'all. Thank you all for being vocal, present, and active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to the channel. They are much obliged. They're much appreciated. Thank y'all so much. I'm going to get out of here. We'll be back tomorrow. And we'll do it all over again. Anyway, I love y'all so much. I'm about to get out of here. That's all I got for y'all. I'm tired. We've been on here almost 2 hours. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out. Love y'all.